Number 4. When I was 9, my parents divorced, and my mum bought a house across town. I don't remember much about the house at that age, because it was almost 11 years ago, and I spent most of my time outside. When I turned 12 or 13, I don't remember specifically, I started feeling very strange in my bedroom. It was almost like I was in a separate building from the house. I'd hear strange sounds coming from each corner of the room. I brushed it off as paranoia for a while, but after about a year, I started noticing even more strange things. I always felt like something was following me. I'd always look over my shoulder. It didn't matter where I was, whether it be in the house or in Walmart. When I was in the house, everything felt very dark. I'd hear strange sounds going down the hallway and into the kitchen. There would be times when the pantry door would fly open and cans would fall to the ground. I tried to let my family know, but they'd just laugh it off. Every time I was in my bedroom, I would get this strange feeling again. After a couple of years, I called it the isolation room. But that didn't hold true when I turned 16. My bedroom door opened one night, and I had this sick feeling that something dark and evil came in and made its home in my closet. My closet was one of those small closets that had the folding doors, so when they'd fly open and shut again, there wasn't a draft. My bed faced my closet, and at night, I'd see a strange figure in the back corner of my closet. I'd start having dreams about a hellish figure emerging from my closet and trying to grab me. When I'd wake up, my closet doors would be open, when I know that I'd shut them. I remember nights sitting in my room with my headphones in, listening to music. My light would randomly shut off. My light switch wouldn't move, and the bulb wouldn't be blown. I'd get a strange feeling that something was at the end of my bed. It's like I could see it in my head. It had a sickening smile, and I'd feel nauseous and have to run from my bedroom. When I turned 19, I moved in with my boyfriend. I felt free for the first time in years. That was until a few months into living together. His closet was like my old one, and one night I was trying to sleep. I was alone because he worked nights. When the closet doors slammed open, I sat up and heard something whisper, "Do you believe in the devil?" And after a few moments of silence, it whispered, "You should." All of the lights came on, and at the end of my bed stood the hellish figure with the sickening smile. I screamed, shut my eyes, and kept screaming until my boyfriend came home. It was only 5 or 10 minutes since it was really late. He told me the front, back, and garage doors were open, and every light was on. I'm almost 20 now. We live in an apartment now, and just a few nights ago, my closet door opened by itself. I'm terrified, and we have thought about calling investigators, Something is following me and living in my closet. Number 3. This story I'm going to tell you all is kind of short, but I'll try to make it fit into the limits of words allowed. From around when I was 7 years of age, every time I went to bed for the night and lay there before sleep, I would always hear this faint sound coming from the corner of the ceiling. The sound was more of a ticking sound like a clock, but without the usual tick, tick, tick. It was more like tapping frequently, as someone would tap on the window or table. This particular sound was annoying. It would go on most of the night until I would fall asleep. It would always stop when I sit up to look for it, and would always start again when I rest my head back onto the pillow. Other nights, it would change locations, like in the wall beside me, ceiling by the closest doors, and by the main door in the bedroom. Some nights it would go fast, other nights it would go slower. I mentioned it to my father, but he just said it was the house cooling down from the hot days. But this sound always happened, even in -2 degrees conditions of winter. So one night, I decided to sleep in my brother's room on top of the bunks. The same sound would start up again once my brother falls asleep. It always freaked me out, even when I went to my mother's house for the night, or even a friend's. It would appear in the ceilings or walls. The sound even went to the lounge when I had sleepovers. I don't know what this sound would be, as it always stopped when I looked around. The sound stopped shortly before the 7.1 quake of September 4th, 2010. Till this day, I haven't heard the sound again. So, did anyone else have this experience before? Or am I the only one? Number 2. Just for some background info, I'm only 22. I have no children, and I have no younger siblings that live with me. It used to just be me and my mum who lived together, while I saved up some money to find my own place and move out. My fiancé has also just moved in with us, but at the time this story took place, he was living elsewhere until he finished his job and moved up here to be with me. So, as I said, this story takes place a little before my fiancé moved in. I was lying in bed alone one night, in the pitch black, facing the wall as I usually do most nights, away from the rest of my bedroom, as well as away from the bedroom door behind me. I was sort of in that state between being half asleep and half awake, when I suddenly started to hear my bedroom door begin to open and brush against the carpet. I didn't really think anything of it, though I have no idea why I didn't react, as my bedroom door doesn't just swing open on its own, as it really needs to be pushed with a bit of force to open or be closed. A little while after my door opened, I started to hear small footsteps entering my bedroom slowly, sort of dragging and shuffling across the carpet, as if whoever, or whatever it was wearing slippers. I lay and listened, as the footsteps seemed to get closer and closer to my bed, which is not far away from my door, because my bedroom is quite small and weirdly shaped. The footsteps eventually stopped, right at the side of my bed, nearer to my head than my feet. I sort of froze, and didn't know what to do, or what to expect next, when the bed felt as if someone small and young had leant against it, making me roll backwards slightly. And then, to my absolute horror, I felt a small hand reach out and tap me on my back 3 times, and a child's voice said,
"Mummy?"
I have never leapt out of bed so quick in my entire life. No one was there when I turned around, or when I turned on the light, but I ended up sleeping downstairs with the TV and lights on, and was reluctant to even go back into my bedroom. There are numerous incidents where I have heard children laughing and giggling near my mother's bedroom door, and when I was a child, me and my best friend even heard a small baby crying out of nowhere while we were playing Sims quietly on the computer, with the sound turned down very, very low. Number 1. We moved into a double-wide mobile home. We saw a pile of trash at the back of the property and went to see what it was, and we found some books on devil worshipping. To get to our closet, we have to go into the bathroom to get to the closet. A few days after we moved in, I picked up my boyfriend's jeans off the floor and put them into a laundry basket in our closet. A few minutes later, I heard a noise coming from the bathroom, so I went in there, and the jeans were laying on the top of the bathroom counter. I brushed it off, thinking maybe I didn't put the jeans in the basket. The next day, I saw a man out of the corner of my eye, and I turned quickly, but no man was there. Later that day, I was cleaning the house, and I heard a baby cry, but thought it must have been on the television. A week after we moved in, my boyfriend's son, his son's wife, and their 3-year-old daughter came to see us, and their daughter was pointing at a doorway, and she was screaming like she was scared, but we brushed that off too. A few days later, my boyfriend went to take a shower. After he turned the water on, he came back in the living room for something, and went back to the shower, and there was a glass in front of the shower door. Now I'm starting to put 2 and 2 together, and thinking we have a ghost. The next morning, my boyfriend went to work at 3 AM in the morning, and after getting him off to work, I went back to bed, and all of a sudden, I heard a baby crying. The TV wasn't on this time, so I got up to investigate, and when I didn't find anything, I went back toward my bedroom, and I heard kids laughing, and I froze when I heard it. I got scared and told my boyfriend what happened after he left work, and told him, we've got to move. I'm not living with ghosts. When our rental lease was up, we decided to move. On moving day, I was in the house packing up loose ends, and my boyfriend yelled, telling me to come outside. So I did, and then I returned to the packing. I was the only person in the house, and all of a sudden, I felt something hit my head, and turned around and saw it was a cigarette lighter So I thought my boyfriend is messing with me. So I went outside and told him that I didn't appreciate him throwing his lighter at my head. And he said his lighter was with his cigarettes in his truck. So we went to look, and his lighter was gone. We walked into the house together to show him that the lighter hit me, and it was gone. And when we turned around, the lighter was on another box. When we started to leave, I looked up and saw a child in the window. Well, anyway guys, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, then please leave a like, share and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any stories of your own which you would like to have shared, then please make sure to contact me, link in the description below, and you may be featured in a future video. I also hope that you enjoy the kind of switching between paranormal and stuff now. I'm thinking of maybe doing it a little bit more in the future. Well, anyway, I hope to see you soon, and I will speak to you later.